Hi, today we're going to look at 5 wildlife photography tours. It's the end of June 2020. During the coronavirus outbreak I had 3 foreign trips I had to cancel, still trying to get my money back from one of them. And we've just got to the point now where foreign travel is becoming feasible. The airline industry is hoping to get going again, and apparently people are booking foreign holidays. So I thought it'd be a good idea to look at some of the past trips I've been on. Personally, I'm not looking to book any new ones at the moment. I'm waiting to see what develops. But I thought I'd just show you 5 trips I've done in the past. They've all got to be illustrated with stills pictures because I wasn't doing video much at the time I did these foreign trips. I'm not trying to do the 5 top trips or my 5 best trips. I've gone for diversity instead. So it's 5 different countries and try to pick on destinations where you'll get different species to the other trips as much as possible. So we're going to start off in Romania with the Ultima Frontiera Reserve, which as far as I'm aware is the only nature reserve in the world that was designed for wildlife photography rather than wildlife watching. Secure Nature, which is an Italian tour company, will arrange to pick you up from the airport of Bucharest and drive you across to the Danube Delta. It's a 4 to 5 hour drive to the town of Tulsa. From there you transfer to a boat and you've still got a 2 to 3 hour journey before you reach the island. This is the main accommodation. It looks a bit austere from outside, but inside it's very nicely done out. Excellent twin rooms, and the food is very good too. This is the main hide, the European jackal hide. It will hold quite a few photographers, and the jackals are fed here every day of the year. When they first appear, they still look a little bit nervous. They hesitate, but then slowly build up their courage and come further forwards, and then start to chase off all the magpies and the hooded crows that are around. And they've got this lovely sneer where they pull the lips back off the teeth. They interact with the white-tailed seagulls too. The guides tell me that if they were to get into a fight, the eagle would win, the strength of its talons. Hard to imagine that when this jackal came in and leapt up into the air to try and grab hold of the eagle. The white-tailed seagulls are the tamest that I've ever come across. They came within a few inches of the hide. In fact, I think they were touching the glass at one point. There is a second jackal hide, a much smaller one for just 2 photographers, where the jackals come into the water. You can get around the island by vehicle, 4-wheel drive. They will take you. You can drive your own battery-operated golf buggy too. Variety of hides. This is the cormorant hide, which is one of my favourites. They've left branches and posts up just at the right level for the birds to land on. Great cormorant, then pygmy cormorant. You can either shoot through the scrimming at a low level or through the one-way glass at the higher level. This is one of the wader hides. They've got about 30 hides there now in total. Blackwing stilts, purple heron, and a lot of bearded reedlings. It used to be a fish farm, so there's lots of reed beds. That's a marsh harrier. Long way to go to photograph magpies, but I like the way they were interacting and grooming each other. Avocets. At the end of the week, on the way back to the mainland, you call in as a sandbar and do some photography from the boat of a few species you haven't up to now. A great finish to an excellent week. And next up, Hungary, Sakya Tours. Based within the Hautobagi National Park. This is their red-footed falcon hide. You can shoot out both the back and the front, so you can do it in the morning or the evening, and it's surrounded by nest boxes which the falcons use and other birds too, and you can see there are branches on top of the nest boxes, so you get the natural looks. This is the male, lovely slaty grey, coming in with a huge spider. And you might have seen lots of pictures of mating red-footed falcons. That's because early in the year they never seem to stop mating. Kestrels. Long-eared owls use nest boxes too, I didn't know that. Little owl, have a nice setup for these where you can get some flight pictures. Sakya Tours will pick you up from the airport and take you to the location. Again, lovely accommodation and great food. This is the heron or stork hide. You can see it's very low down, you're shooting through one-way glass. They fill it up with live fish. Black storks come in amongst many others. Great egret. And grey herons. And believe it or not, there's a grey heron in that picture. He's just hidden behind the water splash. This is one of their woodland drinking pool hides. They have 2 of them. All sorts of woodland species will come down here. These are blackbirds. Black cap, the male. And the female with the brown cap. Collared flycatcher and a green woodpecker. You can get 20 to 30 odd species coming into these drinking pools. This is always a popular one with bird photographers, the hawfinch. This is the lie down wader hide. You get surrounded by ruffs early in the year doing their displaying, and wood sandpiper. This is a roller hide. There's actually 2 hides, so again you can photograph in the morning and in the evening. And they have several hides out on the grassland as well. This one has hoopoe nesting in front of it, and grey-headed wagtails. And this hide is a water drinking pool, but right up in the air, and supposedly golden orioles come down here. Well, I know they do because I've seen other people's pictures, but it's never happened for me. But Sakya Tours is well worth a visit, so you'll really enjoy the accommodation, some of the nicest rooms going. And next we move into Spain with Churio hides. A run with tour companies offering wildlife photography opportunities and hides. We're going to look at Churio Hides, which is based in Valencia. You can book it direct with the company, or you could book it with Yanni, and I've put her website down as well. I had Yanni for my guide for the week on a contract basis, but she has her own tour company and she could book the hides for you directly, which would ensure that you have her as your guide, and you want to have Yanni as your guide. She's a very good communicator, very well organised, excellent bird watcher and photographer. Many of the hides are based on drinking pools, but there are others for raptors where they're baiting them. I was particularly pleased to get blue rock thrush because it's a bird that's more or less escaped me. I have 1 or 2 pictures of them, but not many, but now I do. I have lots. Benelli's eagle, very, very reliable. Comes in very quickly after you get in the hide, as do many of their birds actually. Crossbills. This is a song thrush taken at their thrush hide. It's the most amazing hide. It's a drinking pool plus mealworms they put down. They get all sorts of species of thrushes, blackbirds, missel thrush, redwings were coming in, and ringoozles. I don't know any other hide anywhere where you can photograph ringoozles as reliably as here, and in large numbers too. Many of the drinking pools are on a raised platform like this, white wagtail, so you're not looking down at the birds, and you don't have to lie down on the floor awkwardly either. Sardinian warbler, rock sparrow. I remember the first time I saw a rock sparrow and was amazed at that yellow throat. And rock bunting and kestrels. Iberian grey shrike, and finishing off with seal bunting, and next on to Finland. As far as I know, there's no website for Eero, so I've just put his email address in the description. He will pick you up from the airport, he will provide the accommodation such as this cottage, but you do have to go at different times of year. So it's golden eagle in the winter, black-throated diver and red-throated diver in the summer months, and in the spring black grouse and capercaillie. This is the black grouse hides. See, it's very wet, you need to take Wellington boots with you, but it is absolutely spectacular. Huge numbers of black grouse displaying in front of you. The females are very showy as well, and we also got to do black grouse on a frozen lake, which was very different, with these portable hides. Very much a black and white image in these lovely snowy conditions. These are the capercaillie hides. He actually has far more of them, but they weren't all performing for us on the year we were there. But we did get very lucky with this male. He came in and he started to display in a way I didn't know capercaillie did this. They leap up in the air. And it was really spectacular and right in front of the hides. This is Eero's osprey hide. He's rebuilt it in recent years. It's now quite a bit higher, so you don't have a sky background behind the nest. But the ospreys are very used to it, and they come in within seconds of you closing the door on the hide. It would be lovely to be there right throughout the season, from when they first start building the nest and mating, and then the young fledging. And next up is Zamanga in South Africa. Zamanga is a private game reserve with some wonderful hides and great accommodation. You can do the typical African safari, driving around in a four-wheel drive with the elephants and lions. The advantage of it being a private reserve is you can go out in the dark, which you can't usually in national parks. The best hide of all is this one, the lagoon hide. The settings are fantastic, the backdrop, you can shoot out the front or the back of the hide. That's African spoonbill, African fish eagle. The variety of birds that come in here is just absolutely amazing. African jacana, little egret, grey herons, hammerkop. You could easily spend a week just in this one hide. Pied kingfishers are regular. Warthog. This is another drinking pool hide. They have several of them. You see, it's all underground. They're air conditioned as well, so you're very comfy in there. And a wide variety of small birds coming in. Bence Mati, the Hungarian photographer, had huge input into building these hides, and it shows. The guy's a real genius. There is an overnight hide as well, which is floodlit. You have to stay the whole week to be able to go into there, and I only had 3 days at this site, but I would like to go back to it. You would fly into Durban, and Zamanga don't actually offer transport from the airport, but I'm sure they would help you to arrange it. This is a vulture feeding site with the pied crows and tawny eagle coming in. Something that each of these trips has in common is you can book direct with the tour company in that country. If you want to go with a British tour company, you can, but of course you're paying extra for that. They're doing the organisation for you, and you'll have a British tour guide who you've got to pay for. But you can book direct. I've put the web addresses or the email address in the description for this video, and it's what I tend to do, and it can be drastically cheaper to do it that way. Most of these tour companies will arrange to pick you up from the airport, or if not, they'll tell you how to get to the destination quite easily and give you the name of a company that will transport you there. But it does save a lot of money to book it up directly. And that's it. 5 tours for wildlife photography. Thanks for watching.